Hi guys, welcome to your first module of SDR Mindset. And if you just recently started your new SDR gig, you probably had very little onboarding. Normally you would get 4 to 6 weeks, your company will throw as much information at you as possible, and then you will get a pat on the back, a computer and a phone, and good luck. And you will be told plenty of things like the SDR is the real MVP of the sales game, handling outreach, prospecting, and qualifying leads. Most likely with a bunch of shorts that you have no idea what they mean. Google is your friend, by the way. But all of this handling seems to include a lot of manipulation and force. But that doesn't need to be true for an SDR or any sales role. There are even indications that customers, human beings, likes to be treated like people, not like cash machines. Surprising? Not really. But what is true about the SDR game is that you are the first point of contact for potential customers, while a sales rep usually steps in to nurture qualified leads and sometimes even close the sale for you. So a sales account executive is probably the person who you will send meetings to once you get into the game. So now that you know what the role is actually about, we can dive into some important pillars about this gig. By the way, SDR roles, best gig in the industry. So underappreciated. SDRs are all about outbound sales and marketing activities in the early stages of a sales pipeline. So the first contact point. They find and initiate, in most cases, contact with potential customers who fit the company's target market, but haven't on their own shown interest in the market's brand or products yet. Some customers will come in inbound. Inbound is when they apply on your website to get a demo or to have a call with a salesperson. And outbound is when you reach out cold without the customer knowing that you're going to reach out to book meetings. And your manager will tell you that the only goal of your role is to generate qualified leads to help the sales team close sales, and also to shorten the sales cycle by finding the right companies and prospects, the decision makers that you're trying to talk to be able to push them over to sales in a good way. When you look at my personal opinion, and I've been doing SDR roles throughout my career, I've been in revenue for 20 years, more than 20 years now. And for me, the goal as an SDR has always been to take each of your decision makers and prospects on a journey of excitement, where your job is to guide and support them in the best way possible. So have fun and help people. That's the entire point, according to me. But let's break down the different parts of the gig that you just acquired or that you've been in for a while to make sure that we are aligned on exactly what you are expected to do in your role. So number one, connect with prospects. So start dialogues with new potential customers. Finding your ideal customers, gather contact information, and then set up a process for reaching out with valuable content, personalized emails, event invites, calling, LinkedIn, etc. So that's the first part of the gig, the most important part of the gig. This is most likely what you will be measured on too, how you succeed in that specific activity. Second of all, I would say that making a killer first impression is super important. I don't love the war analogies here, but making an impression that lasts with the prospect. You are your face of your brand, whatever you're selling, so your initial touch points needs to be on point and show genuine interest in the prospect's needs and goals. And for you to be able to do that, you need to fully understand, hopefully even understand more than they do, the pain points that they are struggling with and the challenges that they face in their role based on whatever industry they are. The third point is related to educating them. So educating prospects is the third part of the gig. You need to help prospects that are a good fit for your business to understand the brand and how it differentiates it for them and how they will get help from you. Your products and services, how they will apply in their ordinary day-to-day life. And you need to ask so many questions to discover needs and offer information that empowers them to make a good purchasing decision. It might not always be purchasing your product, but we need to help them make a good decision for themselves and their business, and also in the long term for your business. Fourth part of the activities that you will do is about qualification, so qualifying prospects. And if a prospect is likely to make a purchase and resembles your existing customers, it is time to move on them and to move them to the next step of the sales process. And it does require consent, like actual verbal and excited consent. If you don't have this from the customer very early on in the journey, the deal will be close lost very soon. You need excited consent, like I want to do this with you, that type of comment from the prospect. And you need to also filter out prospects that aren't a good fit by being honest with them. And this will also help your sales team to focus on nurturing qualified prospects and closing sales with good customers who will stay. A bad fit when it comes to a prospect can relate to so many things. But let's look at examples. So ICP, ideal customer profile, might not be a match. They might not have a current bleed that is a problem in their business. They might not have a current need or a future goal that aligns with what you can do as a SDR in your business to help them move forward in their process. And then you need to tell them. Your manager will tell you to not do that, but I'm telling you to do that because you will waste so much time on prospects if they're not a good fit, if they keep being in your sales cycle, and if you keep communicating with them, even though there are no indicators that they're a good fit. And you also need to communicate with your sales team, right? So making sure leads have a smooth experience during their purchase. And for me, smooth means that you read up on their case, you treat your prospects like people, you are honest, you are fast in replies, and you value their and your own time accordingly. And when you do a handover, because you will hand over prospects to your account executives, you do a proper one to the benefit of the customer and your salesperson. You make sure that the account executive taking over knows all the things that are important to the prospect, and you have also double checked with the prospect that you actually receive the information correctly. So that is basically the lowdown on being a really good SDR. So if you're ready to dive in, we're going to talk more in the next session about the mindset of an SDR and how to get an amazing mindset to succeed in your new role. The actions for this module and this chapter in this module is to write down a few interests you have related to industries you're targeting, and then consume 2 pieces of content on this topic until you go into the next chapter of the module. An example can be that if you sell to automotive industry, you might be interested in how AI will transform that industry moving forward, and you might read a few articles or even a book on AI specifically tailored to the automotive industry to fully understand what is happening for your prospects in that industry. So do some research until you go into the next chapter of the module and write down a few interests and read on those interests to educate yourself, because a big part of SDR work is educating yourself, not just educating prospects. Again, we will talk about getting into the right mindset in the next chapter. I will see you there, and good luck with this week's exercises. Bye, guys.